Barcelona versus Manchester United. It's the match preview of the UEFA Europa League knockout stage. Remember, why are we here? It's because we finished in the second position of the group that we had the likes of Sociedad leading the group. We came second. Then we had Omonia, and then there is that other team that we beat 3-0 at Old Trafford and 1-0 and 2-0 away. I've forgotten that club, but obviously those other two really got relegated and they are nowhere near the UEFA Europa League. But that team that really came third is going to go and play in the Conference League. That's it. So we are here because of that, and Barcelona are here for the reason that they failed to qualify for the Champions League next round of 16, and that's why Barcelona is at this round, and they are really here to do the needful to find themselves in a position of really trying to pursue for their UEFA Europa League title in two seasons in a row. Remember, even last season they are knocked out by Frankfurt at the quarterfinals, and then Frankfurt went ahead to win the UEFA Europa League. So welcome to United Matters channel. How are you guys, and where you're watching us from? Smash the like button, comment and share. If at all you're watching us for the very first time, endeavor to subscribe to this channel so as not to miss out on stories that we do upload in here on a daily. I'm here to give you a 360 view of this of this huge game between Barcelona and Manchester United. I brought you a story yesterday, Ten Hag indicating that maybe Barcelona wouldn't have loved to have played this game at this knockout stage. They would have loved to play Manchester United in the knockout stages, and he was right, because even me as a fan of United, I wouldn't like to really spend my calories on a team like Barcelona in the knockout stage of the UEFA Europa League. If it's the Champions League round of 16, it's okay, but UEFA Europa League is really a drop-off. But we're here because Barcelona was knocked out and United also never finished first after that referee coming out to give a very ridiculous decision on a penalty conceded by Lisandro Martinez at Old Trafford, yet the ball first hit his thigh, or first struck his thigh, and then it went onto his hand, and he pointed there and asked myself, which kind of VAR is this? And VAR even went for the review and they never overturned. It shows you how ugly they were on the day, but that costed us, because when we went to Villarreal, when we went to Sociedad in Spain, we had to beat them by 2-0, and we only managed to score one, scored by Alejandro Garnacho. Now, let's see which players are really absent. For Manchester United, two players that are really out, but are just suspended, but they are really not injured. That is Sabitzer, having accumulated 3 yellow cards in the group stages of the Champions League. He's out, but in the return game, in the return leg at Old Trafford, he's going to be available. Then Anthony, Martial, Scott McTominay, those are really doubts, and we are waiting to see tomorrow when the manager comes in through to tell us the press conference news, whether he will tell us whether any of those is really doubtful, is really having a chance to travel to Barcelona. But in the pre-match press conference against Nottingham, he confirmed to us, not Nottingham, it was Leeds. He told us that these 3 players are not available, and it's hard for them to make it to the Catalonia side. Then Eriksson, Danny van der Beek, those are really having long season injuries. Eriksson will see himself return towards the end of April, and Donny van der Beek, unless otherwise, nothing good is expected for him until the end of the season. That's when he's expected to have been fully recovered. So on the United side, those are the players that are really missing out. Now, let's go to Barcelona. Barcelona has 2 players that are really out. First and foremost, Ousmane Dembele, he's going to miss all the legs. He's still having 1 month left for him to return. And Xavi had really done a very good job on him. Ever since he really came into the management of Barcelona, Ousmane Dembele was gotten new doctors or physios at Barcelona. And since the summer of last year, he has not seen himself getting an injury or getting injured. So I think they're playing, was it Sevilla? And he really walked out of the pitch injured. And ever since then, he has not yet returned, meaning that one is out. The other one who is out, Sergio Busquets, I think they're playing Sevilla, not so. He got an injury also. So As we are nursing the wounds of Ericsson, then Barcelona was nursing the wounds of Sergio Busquets and Ousmane Dembele, and those two are really so much pivotal in what they've achieved their season, in what they've achieved this season. But that leaves Frankie de Jong to play into the CDM position alongside Frank Kessie and maybe Gavi. Then Pedro will come in through to play off the left attacking side of the midfield where Ousmane Dembele played, then Rafinha, and then Lewandowski lead the line. The likes of Ferran Torres, Ansu Fati might make it to the bench. So, with all of that done and said, I have something to show you about United and Barcelona as far as the head-to-head is concerned. Here is the head-to-head. United and Barcelona have gone ahead to play themselves 14 times. Barcelona have won 6, United have won 3, and 4 draws. The last time we met Barcelona was in the Champions League. They came out to Trafford. That was under the era of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. That was in 2018-2019 after Rashford knocking out PSG in Paris on the round of 16. He came in through and took us to the quarterfinal stage, and we played Barcelona, scoring 1-0 at Old Trafford. Going to the Camp Nou Stadium, they hit us by 3-0. You remember Messi scoring in the same fashion in like 10-15 minutes we had considered after Ashley Young really lost that ball, I think thrice, and Messi scored a brace onto that day. So it shows you how recently Barcelona has not been really a team that we could beat, but that was all because we never had a very good coach. But with Erik ten Hag, you expect the best from this team, that they will stretch and really put up a fight to prevent themselves from really losing this beautiful game of football. But in the league, Barcelona are really leading the league of Ligue 1, and they are really topping the group. They are really topping the table, and they are like 11 points clear ahead of Madrid. Though Madrid has missed out on like 2 fixtures, but I think even if they come in through and really win those 2 fixtures they have in hand, it will be very hard for them to catch out on Barcelona, because Barcelona is really a team that is really conceding few goals. They've gone ahead to concede only 7 goals in the La Liga, and they've kept 16 clean sheets. It shows you how good they are. For United, in the Premier League, we've kept 9 clean sheets. In the UEFA EUROPA League, we've kept, 4? I think we conceded in only 2 games. One of Omonia, we conceded 2 goals, and that of Sociedad at Old Trafford, they beat us by 1-0. But the rest of the games we kept clean sheets. When you look at the Carabao Cup, the only game we've conceded a goal, I think it was that of Aston Villa, but the rest of Burnley, Nottingham, Charlton, we've kept clean sheets throughout. So it shows you that we are also a good defensive side. Though when you're playing away, it's hard for us to keep clean sheets. That is something that Ten Hag should go ahead and really work on. Then United in the league, we are 3rd. And we've been conceding very many goals, especially away from home, because away from home we only have a handful of clean sheets. But what really gives you hope about us and Barcelona is their form in Europe. Their form in Europe is really very, very bad as far as conceding goals are concerned. In every game they played in the group stages, they conceded a goal. Even when they are playing the weakest team in the group known as Victoria Pleasant, the first game Barcelona scored 5 and Pleasant scored 1. You get? When they went to Allianz Arena, they were beaten 2-0. When they went to Italy, they were beaten by Inter Milan by 1-0. When they hosted Inter Milan, the game ended 3-3 at Camp Nou, that is the Spotify Stadium. Then when they hosted Bayern beat them by 3-0. And when they went away at they played Pleasant. When they paid a visit to Pleasant, the game ended 2-4. Barcelona scored 4 and Pleasant scored 2. So it shows you that for us, we conceded only 3 goals in our group stages, but Barcelona conceded 10 goals in 10 goals in the group stages. And one will say, but for you were playing Sheriff, Sociedad, and Sheriff. But put Pleasant on the level of Sheriff. You get? Sheriff never put any goal past us. But Barcelona swallowed 3 goals against Victoria Pleasant in the double tie they really had. Put a Sociedad on the level of Inter Milan. You get? Sociedad only scored us 1 goal, but Inter Milan put 4 past Barcelona, and 3 goals were considered by Barcelona at Camp Nou. It shows you that each and every time they come across an elite side, as far as scoring is really concerned, trust me, they struggle, and that struggling really puts them at a position of really conceding very many goals as a team of Barcelona. So that gives us an edge that maybe we are going to go ahead and really score some beautiful goals past Barcelona, because however much they're keeping clean sheets in the La Liga, you see, you can't use that as a yardstick to really measure on Manchester United, because Manchester United and Bayern Munich are almost in the same level. That's it. The only problem we've been having every time we're facing Barcelona, we've never had coaches. Even when we are playing Barcelona with Sir Alex Ferguson, he used to park the bus, and he was not all that a 2-in-1. He was not a coach and a manager. He was only a manager, and he had a coach that could conduct the training sessions. But in Erik ten Hag, we are having a coach and a manager. He manages these players, and he does the needful to coach them. That's the beauty of this manager that we are having. So I think that gives us an edge to go away in Catalonia and obviously get a result. And Casemiro is returning, guys. Have you known about that? Casemiro is returning because he's not suspended for the UEFA Europa League. And after the game on Sunday in the Premier League, Casemiro will be back to play in the Carabao Cup finale against Newcastle. Then we roll on to the likes of Liverpool and very many others. That's why Sabitzer is really going to be so much important this season. After all you saw him play, you know why we should be celebrating why Sabitzer is here. Now, let's go to the predicted starting 11 of Manchester United as far as all this is concerned. I think the manager is playing a system of 4-2-3-1. Not so? That is the system that Erik ten Hag has really gone ahead to play every time we have gone all away or when we're at home. He's really going to play with that system. Now, with Sabitzer out and Lisandro Martinez, we expect changes to be made, but Casemiro is really returning and is going to start for Manchester United. And I've seen his photos and some footage of Manchester United when he's really training very, very well. That is a player called Casemiro. Now in goal, no doubt it's going to be David De Gea unless otherwise gets an injury. But when did he last get an injury? He rarely gets injured. That is David De Gea. I think he pulled out some good saves against Leeds in the double tie, and I think it's time. We need him now. In such games, this is when David De Gea is really going to be so much important for the club of Manchester United, and obviously he's going to see himself in goal down in Barcelona. It's going to be it's not going to be his first time to play against Barcelona in a European competition, because in the season of 2018-2019 they put 3 goals past him at Camp Nou and 1 at Old Trafford. That is David De Gea for you. Right back position with Aaron Wan-Bissaka here. Right, with Bissaka here and Dalot here, it's really competitive. But I know what Ten Hag really wants, and he's going to go for Diego Dalot. That's it. He's going for Diego Dalot. When you go to the left back, I believe with Lisandro Martinez out, it's going to be Tyrell Malacia playing on the left back, and it's going to be facing Rafinha, most expectedly. Then we go to the central defenders with Lisandro Martinez away. I believe it's going to be Rafael Varane and Luke Shaw into that left back position of the central defense. Varane was really fully rested when you're playing Leeds, and he never played a single minute, meaning that he is really fully fit and ready to play against Barcelona down in Camp Nou. All those nightmares of Harry Maguire that we had when he started and played 90 games and put out close to 3-4 blind passes that would have costed the team of Manchester United in that game of Leeds are no more. Harry Maguire is nowhere near near close to starting into this game of football. And secondly, I think even if Rafael Varane is injured, the manager will go on for Victor Lindelof. That's why he never used any of those, because he knows what it means in that game of Barcelona. He wants to go out, beat them out, because he believes in his team. And obviously the changes will be made here. I think it's only going to be Varane coming in through for Harry Maguire. But the rest of the team started like that, and that was the back five of United as we faced a team called Leeds, and that gave us a win of 2-0. Then we go to the double pivot of Manchester United. We are welcoming back Casemiro, having been away for a very long time, and because for us, Casemiro spending 2 weekends without playing the game of football Manchester United, those are really huge. That's really a huge spell for us not seeing Casemiro, because he's our best player of the season. And going to Barcelona playing with Casemiro is the most important beat that we are really having. Him and Rafael Varane are not novices to playing in the stadium, because they've played there in very many El Clasicos and they know what it means to play against Barcelona, and they have the best brief to give to the players of Manchester United. And I anticipate that the manager of Manchester United, Erik ten Hag, will really give them a segment to come out and explain to the players of Manchester United how it feels when you're playing against Barcelona, and how to overturn anything in that stadium that is trying, or that will be trying, to go against us as Manchester United. So Casemiro returning the midfield, that is really going to be so much important, because he's going to be facing Frank Kessie, Frankie de Jong, and Gavi. But I believe we are a better side. I think our midfield with Casemiro, you know that he adds a lot to the game, and I think he can really combat the attacks of Barcelona, plus the brilliancy of a player called what is his name? This other player called Frankie de Jong, because he's really a very good player, and I think Casemiro will be up to stop him. Then Casemiro is going to be playing against Fred Rodriguez, a man who really is always on and off. Sometimes he's good, sometimes he's off, and you know what it means. In the game of Leeds at Old Trafford, you saw how bad he was, but at Aaron Road, he turned into a prime Paul Scholes almost. That is Freddie, because no player made more tackles than him on the field of play. So I believe this is a perfect game for Freddie, though I believe it would have been better if at all we had Veghorst. It would have been better when you had Sabitzer in that double pivot with Casemiro, because for Sabitzer, he has played against Barcelona twice in the Champions League before he crossed to Manchester United on loan from Bayern Munich. The first game at the Allianz Arena he played, and they beat Barca by 2-0, and when they paid them a visit at the Camp Nou Stadium where we're going to play on Thursday, they beat them by 3-0. So it would have been an excitement to see to it that we are having two players, one 28 years of age, another one 30 years of age, with vast experience of beating Barcelona into that double pivot. But even Freddie comes in through, and we expect him to do the needful for Manchester United, because it's a perfect game for him either, because it's all going to be him running, and he enjoys that, covering loads of spaces while stepping on every blade of grass at Camp Nou. Then the rest looks like it's going to come by itself, and you know who plays there? That is Bruno Fernandes Borges as the central attack midfielder. Then on the right wing of Manchester United, or the right attack midfield of Manchester United, people will think of Sancho, but I believe the only way Sancho is starting that game is when Anthony doesn't pass the late fitness test. I believe Anthony might find himself returning for this game, but if at all he doesn't return, it's going to be Sancho, who played close to 58 minutes as United played a side known as Leeds. And he really had a fantastic game, because he released Bruno, I think, twice, and Bruno almost found himself in a position of really shooting wide. Then the left attacking side of the midfield, obviously it's going to be Marcus Rashford leading the line, a man who is the most informed player on Europe as far as forwards are concerned. He has gone ahead to score 13 goals in the 15 games he has played ever since we returned from the World Cup. It shows you that he's really on fire, and no one is going to stop Marcus Rashford from really showing us what he's good at. Then the manager of Barcelona is really having a plan to really stop the player known as Rashford, and this is his plan. It has been revealed by Xavi Miguel. He works for Diarios. He has told us that Xavi plans to use Araujo as the anti-Rashford in the clash against Manchester United to mark him personally all game, as he did with Vinicius Jr. This does not mean that Araujo will be the right back, as Rashford can be deployed in some of the position. And I think he's making a very, very, very bad gesture, because United is really a different team altogether. If at all you feel like you're going to combat Rashford, I believe you cannot combat him all time, because he has shown us that even when he cuts in the midfield, he can shoot at goal, he can run at you, and he can sit you down. I believe most of the goals Rashford has gone ahead to score this season are not because of pace, and he's thinking of putting there Araujo because Araujo is really very fast. You get? It's a different Rashford altogether. The self-belief is really out of this world. And you saw what the manager did when you're playing Leeds. He went ahead to pull Weghorst into the midfield, and Rashford became a number 9, and Weghorst was playing as a number 10. Bruno switched to the right. So it shows you that the manager can make lots of changes, and obviously Araujo won't be really able to combat this guy. But I believe it's going to be a very good team altogether. And Weghorst is going to read the line for Manchester United, who really put in an assist for Manchester United, as Garnacho scored the second goal against Leeds, and the manager really brought him in. Garnacho did it. So I think that's going to be the starting 11 of Manchester United. So your thoughts about it are welcome in the comment section below, because I've done my job. I've told you the head-to-head. I've told you how Ten Hag plans his team. Casemiro is back. We're not having Sabitzer and Lisandro Martinez. So your thoughts are welcome in the comment section below. We're going to be playing at the Spotify Stadium with close to 100,000 fans into that stadium. Huge stadium, huge noise, fans rallying against their team. But I believe we can go ahead and really get a result from that side. And I think we'll get a draw from Barcelona, respectively. But even a win is possible, because when Barcelona has gone ahead to face teams with good players, they've not gone ahead to go past them. So they failed to stop them, and I believe it's really going to be a hard way for Barcelona to stop Manchester United, and I believe it's really going to be so much hard for them to continue playing with us, because we are really looking fire. And one of the strong things that are really into the DNA of Manchester United is us keeping a clean sheet, and our defense is really great. With Casemiro returning, the back four is really going to be shielded very, very well. So guys, thank you very much for watching in through. Your reactions to this game of football, welcome in the comment section below. A draw of 2-2 is what I anticipate, because Barcelona is going to be home, they're in a good form. But I believe that can't deny us from really scoring against them, because we are having a manager who is really good at going on head-to-head with his rivals. And I think we're not going to sit back. We are just going to play respectively. We are going to combat them. And I think we are having the best plan. I think this is a kind of game perfect for Erik ten Hag, because he likes teams that really come to him. That's it. Xavi is not Pep Guardiola. That's why I'm not afraid of any of this, because Xavi is not Pep Guardiola. Because if it's Pep Guardiola's side, you know how much they're going to enjoy lots of possession. But I believe we can go toe-to-toe with Barcelona, head-to-head, with Barcelona foot-to-foot on Barcelona, play high line, and obviously play on the front foot, and obviously hurt them. So that's my thought about this game of football. I think I've shared them to you very well. Your reactions are called upon into the comment section below. Rokan David is my name. I sign out for now. See you later, as I return later, like 2-3 hours from now, with the last story that will close on the day. May the Almighty God bless you abundantly. Enjoy your Valentine's Day. And guys, happy birthday to Christian Eriksen, by the way. He has made 31 years of age. A red devil that joined us on a free in the summer. Bye-bye.